Conservative Party is tearing itself apart over some bloody trousers. The Times, social care crisis forces May to raise council tax. Theresa May will back steep rises in council tax bills this week in an attempt to plug a gaping hole in social care funding. Foreign aid officials lose track of a climate fund handout. On the front of the Times, they're also asking, how posh is your Christmas tree? Well, how posh is your Christmas tree? Daily Telegraph, Home Secretary strike warning the rail walkout will cause misery to 500,000 commuters. Days unacceptable, says Amber Rudd. She's attacking plans by ASLEF for a driver strike on 3 days this week after the New Year in protest against driver trade. Britain facing energy crisis, says Ofgem chief, and there's been a scandal no less, which has hit Italian wine. Hundreds of winemakers under investigation for allegedly cutting Pinot Grigio with inferior grapes. 300 people being investigated for crimes including bribery and falsifying documents. Cases of wine vandalism have become more frequent in Italy. I never know what to say when, if you have any bottled wine with your meal, I always let my other half do the tasting because I never know what I'm looking for. I never know what we're supposed to be observing when we taste that wine for the first time and reject it. I just do that very polite British thing. I'm like the two old ladies in Fawlty Towers. Oh yes, Mr. Fawlty, everything's fine, you know. And the wine could taste like vinegar. I'd probably still do that point and think, oh yes, spitting it out as soon as he's gone around the corner. The Guardian, NHS beds, crisis, exiles children to Scotland for specialist care. The NHS in England is sending patients who are ill with eating disorders to Scotland for treatment because chronic bed shortages mean they cannot be cared for south of the border. Well, the NHS in Scotland in many ways is not significantly better. FA suspends Mr. Crewe amid sexual abuse investigation. Dario Grady, the director of football at Crewe Alexandra, the club at the centre of football's sexual abuse scandal, has been suspended by the Football Association pending a top-level investigation. And the Financial Times, Trump attacks CIA, that's the CIA, after findings of Russian interference in election. I mean, there are only so many agencies that he can shout down and say, not true, wrong, not listening, la la la, fingers and ears. I won the election, I won the popular vote, I would have done a bad thing for it. There's only so many times you can do this. Whatever that number is unclear, but I suspect we're about to find out anyway. A couple of texts from you on the best place to holiday in the UK, given that the pound is basically worthless outside these islands now. Hi Darren, I did lots of time in Scotland during my naval career, lovely scenery, and the best of all, a good pint of heavy, and the best morning rolls for breakfast. You can't beat them. Regards, kind regards, no less, from Mike in North Somerset. Thank you, Mike, for that. Yeah, we're pretty good at those flowery rolls, I have to say, in the north. And 4 words on which to finish this morning from another text on the Lake one. Okay, fine. The Lake District is beautiful. No argument there. I must have never seen it 70 miles an hour from the M6, but one day I will slow down. Right, back with you at 1 o'clock in the morning. Thank you for all the calls and the texts. Leading Britain's conversation at 7. Nick Ferrari at breakfast, but right now it is Steve Allen.
So it's Monday, the 12th of December. Nice to be company all the way through until 7 o'clock this morning. So the mum who bans her son's phone and his behaviour then transforms. I can't remember if it was for good or for bad. The council promotes a Christmas fair at home of Scientology. Apparently, whilst you're picking up your baubles and all these Scientology leaflets. You drive to wipe out anti-Semitism, the danger for your pussycats and poinsettias. Tony Christie's terrors, hooded migrants abused his tour bus in France. The Queen's Jaguar firm to close, and they're going to hand back the royal warrants because I think the royal family get freebie Range Rovers. In fact, I don't think there's anyone in the royal family who's not driving a Range Rover. Every time I see it, Prince Andrew crashes into gates with his, and the rest of it, as I say, is well documented. Who are the OAP's baubles are a hazard.
On FM, online, on your mobile, and on digital radio. Leading Britain's conversation. This is LBC.
From Global's newsroom at 4 o'clock, one of the bosses at energy watchdog Ofgem say Britain is facing the the prospect of a supply crisis, with customers having to pay more for a reliable energy source. In an interview with The Telegraph, Andrew Wright warns there could be a split between those who can afford to keep the lights on and those who can't will be left sitting in the dark. The Prime Minister is expected to acknowledge that incidents of anti-Semitism are on the rise. She'll make a speech in London later. LBC's Paul Smith has more.
Theresa May will call out hatred towards Jews with an official definition of anti-Semitism. Police already have a version, but it's now going to be used by other public bodies. The PM will describe it as a groundbreaking step in the fight to tackle rising anti-Jewish attacks. She's also expected to praise Israel for guaranteeing the rights of people of all religions, races and sexualities.
It's being reported that patients with eating disorders in England are being sent to Scotland by the NHS because of a shortage of beds. The claimants in The Guardian say most of the patients are teenagers and young adults who have been transferred hundreds of miles from their homes into residential care units in Glasgow and Edinburgh. Experts say EU nationals living in the UK before Article 50 is triggered should be allowed to remain in the country permanently. Immigration research group British Future says the government should protect the rights of 3 million Europeans living here. Labour MP Gisela Stewart led the Vote Leave campaign and is also the group's chair.
It is true that this affects people all across the European Union, but I think as we're the ones who are leaving, I think it would be a good thing and it would politically be the right thing to offer this, as it's about people's lives.
United Utilities is telling its customers across Greater Manchester to boil their water for at least the next 2 days. Despite the problem at a treatment work being fixed, the company says it's not completely satisfied with the quality of water. The total value of the UK's privately owned homes has grown to over £5.5 trillion for the first time. Halifax calculated that the total value of privately owned housing stock has risen by £1.9 trillion since 2006. To reach the estimated 5.6 trillion. LBC weather: light rain across the far southwest of England, spreading northeastwards but dry elsewhere, a high of 10 degrees. From Global's newsroom for LBC, I'm Zora Suleiman.
This is LBC from Global.